I'm Thierry Nivelet from FoxInCloud, and in this video I will show you how to perform an adaptation, which is the reporting, how to adapt your reports from the desktop code that you have to a web code. Why do we have to do this adaptation? Mainly because when your FoxPro application will be running on the web server, it will no longer run on your desktop. It will run on a server, and this server does not have any access to the local printer, the printer of the user. So what we need to do is to send a file to the browser that the browser can print. And this file usually is made in PDF. So I want to show you some issues about this PDF, and for that we're going to take the reporting here. Oh, by the way, I can show you the URL here if you wish to go there. So here we have a simple form with a list of customers and a list of corresponding orders with two linked grid. If we change the customer, we change the orders. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to print a report with one customer and the corresponding orders and underneath that. So what we'll have to do is to print a PDF, as we said, and this PDF will be sent to the browser. Then we have several options. We can either display it in a subform of this form in the same browser tab or window, or we can decide to send it to another tab in the same browser, which obviously will make it larger. And then another option is to send it into another window, another browser window, like you would do, like here, you would do another browser window. You can see here you have a different window. So there in this case, the user will be able to work on the application and see the report on another window, which can be quite handy if the user has two screens, has two monitors, to be able to work on both. So let's see the first option. We are currently using a PDF generator called XFRX, which is pretty popular. You probably know it. The issue is that today we're not able to run Foxy Preview and FRX2 on the server, and I will explain why later. So let's go and print the report. So we have a message box from this application saying that FoxInCloud generated an order report for the customer Antonio Moreno Taquera, which is the one we were positioned on, using the XFRX PDF generator and displayed it in a child form within the same browser tab, all in 1.4 seconds. Okay, so we're going to say that. So here we are. We have the browser. We have the browser form, and we can enlarge it. By the way, we can do it larger if we want to. There is a limitation here, but we could be able to make it even larger than that. Okay, so we have our report, we have the customer and all the orders that are linked to this customer, and that's fine. Okay, so that's the first solution. Obviously, you can't work on both at the same time. You have to switch. Of course, you can move it somewhere else. You can move it there or here, but still you are limited by the area of the current tab. So let's go for the second solution. Second solution is fine, except that you will need the browser consent to open a new tab. Let's see that. Okay, we have a small message box here. This option requires that user allows pop-up on this site, and it's browser dependent. There is nothing you can do about it. The user has to choose it. So let's see how it works. Let's print the report. Okay, so we have the same message displayed in new browser tab. It took altogether 0.2 seconds. It's very fast. The problem is here that we have a pop-up window that was prevented, and the user has to click on the preference here and to allow the pop-up window. If you do that, then okay, it will display. Otherwise, you will always have this. So if you do that, then you have the same report that displays in a separate tab. We still have our original tab here, and we have the okay. So we can switch from one to the other, which is not still very convenient because we can't have them both at the same time. So the other solution is to get into a window, and this also requires the user authorization. So if we go there, now we won't have any problem because we already gave the authorization. Remember, we had this yellow stuff and we said yes. So now we're able to, and you see we have different windows. So we can go here and maybe make this one smaller and move to the other one. Or if we have two screens, we can work on both at the same time, and it's still the same report. Okay, that's the principle I wanted to show you, so that you understand why we have to do this adaptation. For two reasons. First, we need to generate a PDF, and second, we need to decide where we want this PDF to go to. And also, we could choose which PDF generator we want to use, with some limitation, as I said, and I will explain that a little later. For this video, we're going to go to Windows now. We are in the Windows session now. So I expect that you've already downloaded two tools from FoxInCloud. The first is the FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant, and the second is the FoxInCloud Web App Studio. So if you haven't, you just go to our site. You go to this menu, and then you either can, here you can download the FAA, FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant. And if you go further into the page, you can get the FoxInCloud Application Server, which is also the FoxInCloud Web Application Studio. And you got to fill out this little form, and you would get an email with a download link. So it's not immediate. This one is immediate. The other one requires to go through an email so that we can send you the updates later on. By the way, this FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant updates automatically. Each time you start it and you're connected, it will automatically go to our site, see whether a new version is available, and if available, we'll download it. This one, you will be notified when some new version comes out, especially if you have accepted to get the beta releases. Then you will have different notification whether you have ticked this box or not. Okay? So now let's start the Web Application Studio. So for this video, we're going to work on a sample that is provided with. Let me put this in the right position. Okay, a sample that is provided with the Web Application Studio. You have here a menu with several test apps, and what is interesting is a task trader. The task trader is available as a desktop application, either original or adapted. Then a web application, either classic, which means with forms looking like in FoxPro, or responsive with forms that are built with Bootstrap, and then can be that can run responsive on any device, like a smartphone or a tablet. And you have the same on the web. So let's take a look on the web. Okay, this application is pretty simple. We have the same form, the same report, as I told you, which is a report between the customer and the orders. And we can put it here. And in this case, we have decided to put it into a new tab, which means that the user has given his authorization. And we have the same kind of message as we had. By the way, let's see how it looks when it's responsive. So if you go to Task Traders, you go Web Remote Responsive. It's exactly the same code, exactly the same application, except that it's responsive. It means that you can resize your browser. You can use a mobile device, anything you want, and the layout will display automatically. And as far as the print is concerned, it's exactly the same. If you print it out, you have another tab popping up, and you get a report. And also you have a message box saying that we've used XFRX engine displayed in 0.2 seconds, etc., etc. This is available online, foxincloud.com task trade. If you have BS, you are responsive. If you don't have BS, you're in a classic rendering. If I remove the BS here, I get back to the classic rendering. Okay? So Let's get back to the FoxInCloud Studio. So we're going to take the task traders. Let's make it larger. Okay, we're going to take the task traders, and task trader we're going to take the desktop original and see how it works. So it's very simple. We have a print a report, and if we print the report, what we're going to do is have this report, the same as we saw, exactly the same, and in this case we've used Foxy Preview, so we have this typical report preview taskbar, and we can close it. Okay, and we can close. Be aware that we have a system menu here. We need to exit first before we can get back to the application. So if we see the report, modify a customer, and we see the button, what do we have? First, we get the customer ID and put it into a variable, and then we just report from customer for customer ID equals to the variable we've seen and preview, and that's it. Of course, initially we have had Foxy Preview installed when we start the application. The Foxy Preview installs. Okay, so now we need to adapt that, and for that we're going to use a FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant, and the FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant is here. You see here, if you get from there to here. Okay, it's going to start. Let's resize it. It's large. Okay. And now we're going to use the same sample application, except we're going to use it in a sandbox. Let me explain you that. Let's go to the... Okay, if you go to the samples, you see the samples here, the program files, VFP9, whatever folder you've chosen. I've chosen something a little shorter. And tools, AB, that's us, that's FoxInCloud, AW, that's a web part, samples, task trade. Okay, and in this folder you have three versions: the original, adapted, which is already adapted by us, so that you can have a reference to work on, and the sandbox. When you want to work on a sandbox, you just copy the files that are in the original. You take everything here, you copy, and then you paste into the sandbox, which obviously here is already filled, but if you wanted to start from scratch, you just erase everything and put back a copy of the original here in the sandbox. Now that's where we are. We are in the sandbox, and previously we have run the two first steps, and we have run the automated adaptation. So now everything is based on the FoxInCloud classes. Maybe you've already gone through this previously. What we're interested in is the report form adaptation. You see, we only have one in this particular case. Maybe you have more in your case, and we're going to review the code. Okay. Oops, there's something wrong. What's wrong? But we're going to review. Let's filter it out. Okay, report form, review. Okay. So now we have the original code, which is here. Maybe you're going to recognize it. Customer ID, store into a variable, and then run preview. So it's exactly the same, except that the adaptation have added this code. This code is here to tell to the FoxInCloud server that this event should be captured on the browser and sent here to execute this code. And obviously, if we leave it this way, we will have a problem, because it's going to report something. It's never going to go to the user. So we need to do a manual adaptation here, which is very simple. We say if... Oh, let me enlarge this a little bit. Okay, let me enlarge it. Okay, font, let's go for 14. Okay. So you will say if this form dot WLAN. So this means running in desktop mode, else, which means running in web mode, and if. So if we are running in desktop mode, we're going to run this. You see? Simply. Now, if you're running in web mode, we need to, one, build a PDF, and two, send PDF to user. That's it. So how are we going to do that? To build a PDF, it depends on the PDF generator. It's a code that you know. I confess that I don't know this code by heart. So maybe we're going to cheat a little bit and we're going to take the adapted form. So let's go to here. Let's go to the adapted stuff here. And programs. Oh, sorry, the forms are in a separate folder. They're here. Okay, forms. And we're going to take the customers form. Okay, let's open it. If I don't have a command window, it's not going to work. So let's take the command window. Oh yeah, I know. I'm running the FoxInCloud Adaptation Assistant, so I'm not able to open it. So I'm going to use another session of the studio and open it in another session. Okay, so that we can have it. Let's go through here and let's take the command window and open the customers. Okay, so what we've done here is that, let me enlarge this again, put this as non-dockable, and do the, here we are. So what we're going to do is see the adaptation that was made here so that you have an example and understand why we did it this way. So here, we've done it the other way around. We've tested whether we were in web mode, and then we've put the desktop mode in the very end here. So first, we've taken two variables, customer ID and the company. We take customer ID in the table and the company name in the table. So then we start with the adaptation itself, and in here we have added, in the adapted form, we have added an option group to select the PDF generator so that you have an example of with each generator. Okay, so the PDF engine will be either Foxy Preview, XFRX, or FX to any. So then we have a try. Oh, I forgot to say that here we are taking a PDF file out, which is something unique. So that's why we had the customer ID here as, to make sure that the files are not overwritten. So if we use the PDF engine Foxy Preview, we just have to do a report form, nothing else, and to file LC file out. Report form for customer ID equals to object type 10 to a file. If it's a XFRX, well, which first need to instantiate the XFRX listener here, and if this is okay, we set parameters to the listener, especially the PDF output, the criteria, which is the PDF output. And if everything is okay, then we do a report form using the object XFRX listener. And this will, okay, the file out has been defined here. So this will write the PDF file into this LC file out. And if we use FRX to any, it's a little more complex, and I let you see on your side, because obviously all the code I show you here, if you have installed the FoxInCloud Web Application Studio, you already have it. So you just have to browse it. Okay, and then the second step here is, which we wrote send file to the user, send the PDF to the user. Yes, we could have done it this way. Build a PDF. Now the build a PDF is up there. That's the build a PDF. And the send a PDF to the user is here. So if we have success at the previous stage, we just use this FoxInCloud method, which is called wfile save as. We give the file that we want to save as. In fact, it's a method that delivers the file to the user. And when the file comes into the browser will decide, based on your setting, it will decide what it's going to do with it. Either it has an application linked to the file, and then it's going to use this application to process the file, or if it doesn't have an application, it will ask the user, prompt the user for saving the file. Okay, so that's why we call this method wfile save as. So let's take a look at the browser to see how this works. So if we go to help options, sorry, and we go to applications. It's going to be somewhere exactly here, and we go to PDF. PDF. Where is PDF? So let's go here. So here, no, PNG. Right, portable document format. Preview in Firefox. You see, here we have selected this, or we could have selected maybe something else like use Acrobat Reader. But in this case, we preview in Firefox because it's a pretty good preview, so we don't need any external tool. You would have the same in Chrome, you would have the same in Internet Explorer. But remember, it depends on the user settings. If the user has not set this, it will prompt for saving, and the user will have to save it, and then later to open it using maybe Acrobat Reader. But it's not automatic. It's not something you have control upon. It's something that the user chooses. So this method, just you give the file, and it does everything. It takes the file, puts it in the web server, and send it to the user. And then finally, we have this little message box saying FoxInCloud generated an order report for the customer using etc., etc., etc. And we have a little function to calculate the number of seconds that it has taken to do all this, given that this number of seconds was initialized here at the very beginning before building the PDF. Okay, so you've got the clue. Now we're going to copy and paste the code for the XFRX engine. So we're going to take this. Oh, I need also the beginning, so I'm going to take everything and remove what we don't need. So let's see that. Okay. So that's okay. So this one I can close it. Okay. Let's save the changes. Let's get back here. So we said 1, build a PDF, 2, send a PDF to the user. So in this case, we don't have this because we don't have we don't have the do case because we only have one PDF engine, which is XFRX in this case. Okay. Oh, maybe we could take Foxy Previewer instead. Let's take Foxy Previewer. Okay. We have a catch, and if it's okay, we have this. Okay. Okay, that would be the code that you need for your application to do exactly the same as we did. Okay, so let's see how it works on a local host. Maybe I can restart because there are some passing issues sometimes, so I don't want to. Okay. So, we need to go through here. Task traders, web, local, classic. Okay, let's go for it. So this will open immediately. It will start the server, as you can see, start the form, and we do have the three options here, and we get here. So we have the three options. So now we can, everything is local, as you can see here, localhost. So everything goes there, and that, by the way, if I make it smaller, you will see that something. If I do anything, it will be reflected into the server in FoxPro. So if I move a line, it will change something. If I move a line, okay. So everything goes through. So let's do the print out. Here we have a problem because of Acrobat Reader, which I told you about. I don't know why it opens. So be aware that there can be some small problems with that. It's not because of FoxInCloud. It's because of the browser, the settings. It's always complex to know exactly what the user has. So it's good to have a manual explaining to the people how they should set the browser to get a proper reporting going on. It's not your fault. It's because of the browser. Okay, we got a report, but it takes a while to get a full result the way you want. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand better what all this adaptation is about. And do go to FoxInCloud.com, tutor test here, and do play with it. You can even have it in Bootstrap mode if you want. You can go here and you will have it in Bootstrap mode, and you can do the same reporting here. It's exactly the same, as you can see. Yes, you can choose the stuff, and you can go to a tab. Okay, you have this. So you know that already. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, and see you later. Bye.